Jamaican sprint sensation Gout Gout has broken the magical 10-second barrier twice in one night in the under-20s 100 metres Australian Athletics Championships. The 17-year-old ran a 9.99 in his heat earlier in the evening.
Legendary Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt has been left visibly shaken after watching 17-year-old Australian phenom Gout Gout obliterate multiple sprinting records, including Bolt's own under-18 marks that have stood for nearly 2 decades. The 8-time Olympic gold medalist's reaction came after footage of Gout's latest jaw-dropping performance went viral across social media platforms worldwide. Bolt, who revolutionized sprinting with his dominant performances from 2008 to 2016, was reportedly watching from his home in Jamaica when Gout ran an astounding 19.84 seconds in the 200 meters at the Australian Athletics Championships. Though the time came with a wind reading of plus 2.2 meters per second, just above the legal limit of plus 2.0, the performance still shocked the track and field community and prompted Bolt's unprecedented response. "This kid is something else entirely," Bolt reportedly said in a hastily arranged video call with his former coach. "At 17, I wasn't anywhere near this level. We're watching the future unfold right before our eyes."
Yeah, you know what it takes. It takes all effort. Nothing comes without grind, hard work, perseverance.
My dream is I want to be one of the best.
What makes Gout's achievement particularly remarkable is that he has surpassed Bolt's under-18 world record in the 200 meters, becoming only the second under-18 athlete in history to do so. The other is American Errol Knighton. Gout's 19.84 also shattered both the Australian and Oceanian records, which had remarkably stood since 1968 when Peter Norman set them. Born in Ipswich, Queensland, to South Sudanese immigrant parents Bona and Monica, Gout's rise has been nothing short of meteoric. His family name's unusual spelling reportedly resulted from a misspelling during their journey to Australia when they fled South Sudan for Egypt before eventually settling down. This clerical error has now become one of the most talked about names in global athletics. Gout's exceptional talent was evident even at age 15, when he broke the Australian national under-18 men's 200-meter record with a time of 20.87 seconds at the Australian Junior Athletics Championships in Brisbane. His progression has been staggering since then. But wait, there is more. In April 2024, he secured the Australian under-20 men's 100-meter title in Adelaide with a time of 10.48 seconds. He then represented Australia at the 2024 World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Lima, Peru, where he won a silver medal in the 200 meters with a personal best of 20.60 seconds. His versatility was on full display at the 2024 GPS Track and Field Championships last October, where he won both the 200-meter and 400-meter events with times of 20.86 and 47.57 seconds, respectively. This versatility across multiple sprint distances mirrors Bolt's own dominance across the 100 meters and 200 meters.
Another really good start there, and they're away in this men's under-18 200-metre final, so we're about to wind him up and watch him go here. Gout Gout, he's already got the stagger, so he moves right on past Chase Grant, and now we really start to open him up. So let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world. 20.06.
The young Australian's potential was quickly recognized by major brands, with Adidas signing him to his first professional contract on October 28, 2024. Just over a month later, at the Australian All-Schools Athletics Championship, he clocked a remarkable 10.04 seconds in the 100 meters during his heat, ranking as the 4th fastest under-18 performance globally and the 5th fastest ever by an Australian in the 100 meters. More recently, footage of Gout at the Stawell Gift, Australia's prestigious handicap sprint race, left viewers worldwide in awe. Running the second-last heat in 12.31 seconds on Saturday with a 1-meter handicap across the unusual 120-meter distance, Gout showcased his explosive acceleration as he built into his stride and spectacularly overtook the field. After the race, Gout noted that the 120-meter distance actually suited him better than the traditional 100 meters. The 120 is literally like one of the perfect distances for me because in the 100s, obviously, I don't get that much time to get up in my top speed. I get that extra 20 meters here, it's definitely great, and hopefully I can run down a few more people. Just 2 weeks before the Stowell gift, Gout reportedly ran 9.99 seconds twice in the 100 meters and 19.84 seconds in the 200 meters, though these times weren't officially recognized due to excessive tailwind. Nevertheless, these performances have sparked intense speculation about how fast he might run under legal conditions. Bolt's uncharacteristic reaction to Gout's performances suggests the Jamaican legend recognizes something special in the Australian teenager. While Bolt has typically been gracious when discussing up-and-coming talents in the past, sources close to the sprinting icon say he's never appeared this unsettled by a young athlete's potential. When you've been at the top for so long, you develop a sense for who has what it takes to reach those heights, said a former teammate of Bolt who requested anonymity. The way Usain is talking about this kid, I've never heard him speak like this about anyone else. The comparisons between Gout and a young Bolt are inevitable. At 22, Bolt shocked the world at the 2008 Beijing Olympics with his 9.69-second 100-meter world record, which launched him to global stardom. While Gout is still 5 years younger than Bolt was during his breakout, his current trajectory suggests he could potentially challenge some of Bolt's seemingly untouchable records in the coming years. What makes these comparisons particularly compelling is that both athletes broke onto the scene with similar physical attributes: exceptional height for sprinters, remarkable stride length, and the ability to maintain top-end speed longer than their competitors. Olympic champion Noah Lyles has reportedly called Gout's rise a perfect storm during a podcast appearance, adding further credibility to the hype surrounding the young Australian. The upcoming rivalry between Gout and 21-year-old Lachlan Kennedy, the world indoor silver medalist over 60 meters, has already captured Australia's attention. Gout himself appears remarkably grounded despite the growing comparisons to Bolt. When asked about his goals, he made it clear he's focused on the long term. That's the end goal for sure. Yeah, 2032, that's what I'm at for sure. Referring to the Brisbane Olympics, where he'll be 24, the same age Bolt was during his dominant performance at the 2012 London Games. For now, Gout is taking a short break to focus on school, but his impact on the sport has already been profound. "This is a great meet. The crowd, the people, the track, everything," he said after the Stall gift. "It feels pretty incredible. People come from all around Australia to watch me run." As for Bolt, after initially expressing shock at Gout's performances, the Jamaican legend has reportedly reached out to the young Australian to offer guidance and support, a gesture that speaks volumes about how seriously he's taking Gout's potential to redefine sprinting's boundaries. Could Gout Gout be the next global icon in sprinting? How important is mentorship from legends like Bolt in shaping young athletes' careers? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more updates.
America's two fastest men, and it is Akani Simbine who takes the honours ahead of Omanyala. 9:92 unofficially. Simbine translates his global medal-winning form indoors straight to the outdoors and goes top of the world list for 2025. Only the second man to break 10 this year.
What happens when an athlete defies the laws of physics? When a sprinter not only breaks the 10-second barrier, but demolishes it into a headwind? Ladies and gentlemen, the track world has been turned upside down, and we're only in April. 9.90 seconds, negative 1.4 meters per second headwind. Akani Simbine has just changed everything about the 2025 sprint season. Imagine running so fast that even Mother Nature can't slow you down. That's exactly what happened in Gaborone, Botswana last weekend when South Africa's Akani Simbine dropped a performance that has track experts recalculating their entire predictions for 2025. The scene was Botswana's national stadium, the Golden Grand Prix, a Continental Tour Gold event packed with talent, but no one expected what was about to unfold. When the gun fired, Kenya's Ferdinand Omanyala, the African record holder at 9.77, exploded from the blocks like a man possessed. For the first 60 meters, it looked like Omanyala's race to lose. The Kenyan has dominated Simbine in their past matchups, and his lightning start had the crowd convinced history would repeat itself. But then something extraordinary happened. As if possessed by the spirits of sprint legends past, the 31-year-old Simbine began to surge. With each powerful stride, he closed the gap. At 70 meters, they were even. By 80 meters, Simbine had taken control. And in the final 10 meters, complete and utter domination. When Simbine crossed the line a full body length ahead of Omanyala, the clock froze at 9.90 seconds, the fastest time in the world this year by a significant margin. But here's where it gets truly mind-blowing: the headwind that couldn't stop him. While Simbine was blazing down the track, he wasn't getting any help from Mother Nature. In fact, quite the opposite. A stiff minus 1.4 meters per second headwind was pushing against him the entire way. Let that sink in for a moment. Most sub-10 performances come with either neutral conditions or a helpful tailwind. Simbine wasn't just fighting the world's best sprinters, he was battling the elements too. And winning. What does this mean in real terms? Wind conversion calculators suggest that in neutral conditions, this run would translate to approximately 9.82 seconds. And if he had the maximum legal tailwind of plus 2.0 meters per second, we're talking about a potential 9.74, a time that would place him among the greatest sprinters who have ever lived. All of this in April. April! When most elite sprinters are still in heavy training and nowhere near peak form. For close to a decade, Akani Simbine has been the nearly man of global sprinting. Always in the final, always competitive, but agonizingly close to that career-defining medal or moment. The heartbreak reached its peak at the 2024 Paris Olympics, where Simbine finished fourth by just 0.01 seconds in what many experts called the deepest 100-meter final in Olympic history. 1/100th of a second away from Olympic bronze, the kind of margin that haunts an athlete's dreams. But 2025 has already become Simbine's redemption tour. It started in Nanjing, China, where he finally secured his first individual global medal, bronze in the 60 meters at the World Indoor Championships. That taste of international hardware may have been the psychological breakthrough he needed. Now, with this 9.90 into a headwind, Simbine isn't just knocking on the door of greatness, he's kicked it clean off its hinges. To understand just how rare Simbine's April performance is, consider this. In the entire history of 100-meter sprinting, only 2 men have ever run faster in the month of April. Ada Bolden clocked 9.86 in April 1998, going on to win Commonwealth gold that year. Trayvon Brommel posted 9.88 in April 2021, before ultimately running 9.76 later that season to cement his place in the top 10 all-time. Elite company doesn't begin to describe it, and both of those historic April runs had much more favorable wind conditions than Simbine's headwind-defying blast. This changes everything for 2025. The sprint world just got put on notice. The established hierarchy has been shattered. The road to Tokyo 2025 and the World Championships just got significantly more interesting. What does this mean for the rest of the season? First, it means the 100-meter podium at the World Championships is wide open. Simbine has proven he has the physical tools to not just compete for medals, but potentially win gold. After a decade of near misses, could this finally be his year? Second, it means the 9.8-second barrier is under serious threat. With Simbine already at 9.90 into a headwind in April, who knows what he might produce with favorable conditions at his peak? Could we see the first legal sub 9.8 performance in years? Third, it means relay excitement. South Africa's 4x100-meter team, already Olympic silver medalists, now has a legitimate anchor who can challenge any team in the world. With young talent like Retchidisitswe Mlenga, 10.15, and Abdurrahman Karyem, 10.07 PB in the B race, also showing impressive early season form, South Africa could become the team to beat. And speaking of relay dominance, across the ocean at the 44 Farms Team Invite in Texas, USC unleashed its own sprint arsenal that has NCAA fans buzzing. In a single race, 3 USC Trojans all broke the 10-second barrier. Max Thomas, 9.92. Garrett Coland, 9.93. Eddie Nkesha, 9.96. Add in teammates Travis Williams, 10.07, and J.C. Stevenson, 10.13, and you have 5 men from the same school all capable of running 10.13 or faster. For context, that's 5 sprinters from one program who would all make most Olympic finals. The depth is staggering, and it suggests USC might produce one of the fastest collegiate 4x100-meter relays in history this season. Who takes the crown in Tokyo? With Simbine firing this early, the question becomes, Can he maintain this form through September for the World Championships in Tokyo? Simbine's history shows he peaks perfectly for championships, but can he sustain this otherworldly form until Tokyo in September? That's the million-dollar question. Will 2025 finally see Simbine crowned world champion? Can USC's collegiate superstars translate their early brilliance to the global stage? Or is another sprint sensation waiting to explode onto the scene? The only certainty is that the 100 meters landscape has been completely transformed. Records that seemed untouchable now look vulnerable. And it all began on that windswept Botswana track where a 31-year-old South African veteran said, "Enough to being the nearly man." 9.90 seconds. Headwind. April. This changes everything. Will Simbine claim gold in Tokyo? What's your prediction for 2025's fastest time? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more explosive track analysis all season.
Most unguardable player in the country. She has come alive here again in the third.
Patiently reading the defense. Beckers gets it back, will pop, ends hit from Tacoma.
Caitlyn Clark's meteoric WNBA rise just forced Paige Bukers into a decision that will forever alter women's basketball. With millions watching, the battle for the sport's future has begun. Paige Bukers, the UConn phenom, is poised to become the number one pick in tonight's WNBA draft, fresh off leading her Huskies to a national championship just 8 days ago. Bukers averaged 19.9 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game in her senior season, with a massive 53.4% field goal accuracy. She's not just a player, she's a movement, hailed as a once-in-a-generation talent. But across the league, another name looms large, Caitlyn Clark. The 2024 number 1 pick for the Indiana Fever, Clark rewrote the record books at Iowa, becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer with 3,951 points. Her rookie season turned heads, boosting Fever attendance by 30% and merchandise sales by nearly 50% all. Yet her WNBA salary, a modest $76,535. A stark reminder of the financial hurdles even the brightest stars face. So, what's the clash? It's not about points or rebounds, it's about money, opportunity, and a bold new league threatening to steal the spotlight.
Knowing that the guard, if she comes in to shoot it, is not going to be able to get it over her reach. They're top 5 in the country in field goal percentage defense. There's another takeaway and a foul called. And that's the length of Paige Beckers.
Hours before the WNBA draft, Paige Bukers signed a 3-year deal with Unrivaled, a 3-on-3 basketball league founded by Olympians Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. In just one 10-week Unrivaled season, Beckers will earn more than the entire 4-year WNBA rookie contract of $350,000 she'd get as the top pick. Why does this matter? The WNBA's collective bargaining agreement sets a first-year salary for the number. One pick at just $78,831. Unrivaled, by contrast, boasts an average player salary of $222,222, with Bukers' deal reportedly dwarfing that. As Andrews put it, Bukers is setting herself up for a larger payday once the WNBA season ends. But this isn't just about cash. Unrivaled offers something the WNBA can't yet match, a domestic off-season league that keeps players in the U.S., sparing them the grueling overseas stints many endure to supplement their income. Since the WNBA's inception in 1997, stars have flocked to Europe or Asia for extra paychecks. Unrivaled, played in Miami over 8 to 10 weeks, is changing the game.
As a pro basketball player, strongly encourage folks to check it out. Some Gino Auriemma shade in there, but all in good fun. But Nafisa's journey just flung it up there in the nick of time, but missed it. Push pass by Williams to Austin. Their chemistry off the floor, amazing.
Now let's discuss Caitlyn Clark. When she entered the WNBA in 2024, she didn't just bring her scoring prowess, she brought eyes. Her presence forced the league to confront its pay gap head-on. Clark's influence didn't stop there. Her success amplified calls for better salaries and investment, paving the way for Unrivaled rise. But here's where it stings for Bukers. Clark's spotlight made Unrivaled a viable option, tempting top talents like Bukers to diversify their careers. Bukers, who once dreamed of dominating the WNBA outright, now faces a dilemma. By joining Unrivaled, she's hedging her bets, but she's also splitting her focus. Could this move dilute her WNBA legacy before it even begins?